I'm Ryan Long. That's Tyler Teague behind the camera, and our project is on the regulation of introduction. The debate on pornography has been going on all over the world for decades. Porn has become much more available and recognized socially through the internet in recent years. Research on the effects of pornography is conflicting, with some researchers saying that it negatively affects relationships and some researchers saying that it does nothing at all. The research that we will be using for our project generally point to an increase in infidelity and domestic violence with more porn viewed. Some types of pornography emphasize violence towards women, which adds to the controversy.
Timon, wake up.
Oh, sorry. The porn industry is worth $97 billion globally as of 2015, which should not have varied over the past 3 years too much. The United States alone the industry is worth $10 to $12 billion. So the United States plays a pretty large role. For reference, the steel industry is worth around $900 billion globally. So the fact that people with dirty minds can make up a ninth of the biggest industry in the world is pretty incredible. Assuming the most extreme approach, which would be banning porn completely, we find that that type of change would do considerable damage to the global economy, because $97 billion for one industry is bringing in a lot of good money that is necessary, especially for a country in large debt. Regulation would still damage the economy because there are people from ages 12 to 17 who technically it would be illegal to watch porn for them that wouldn't be able to provide towards the industry. And although that's not what we want, it's the unfortunate truth. If it were regulated, though, it is possible that more people would be accepting of porn, because certain categories in pornography wouldn't be as rough, and it would slightly counteract the damage that it did.
Now we will explore the pros of how porn can affect health. Porn can allow viewers for freedom of sexual expression, which is part of their freedom of speech. Americans do love our freedom of speech. Porn allows for sexual exploration, allows people to figure out what they like and more about their body. Porn can relieve stress. Porn can improve self-esteem and body image. And porn can also relieve sexual tension. The cons of how porn can affect health. The effects of porn are hard to measure, but our findings suggest the following. Porn contributes to a male-dominated society through the male's dominant position in pornography. In relationships, out of a study that measured the porn viewership in relationships, 76.8% of men in relationships report viewing porn, while 31.6% of women in relationships admit to viewing porn. 44.8% of those couples view pornography together. And out of that study, those who view porn alone have higher rates of infidelity, while those who view it together have lower rates of infidelity. Some more cons of how porn can affect health of the individual. Porn provides unrealistic expectations for men and women body types. In some cases, porn can enforce sexual abuse and violence towards women in more rough types of porn. And in some cases, porn paints a subordinate picture of women through male-dominated porn. In some cases, implies less ethical pornography, which Tyler will elaborate on in the next slide.
Tyler.
Sorry.
We're doing a presentation.
The ethics of porn is a very interesting concept because it hasn't been thought of very much. But it's tough to consider both sides. Whether or not porn is ethical is something that can't really be determined because it's based on preference. More recently, the UK has been looking into a way to label certain porn films as ethical or non-ethical. Non-ethical would go from things such as crimes like incest and rape, and ethical would represent a healthy relationship involved in the pornography. And if they could cut down on the non-ethical, then it would be less likely that porn would inspire domestic violence or infidelity, which is the only reason that there is an ethical argument at all.
Tyler. 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 We're doing a presentation.
Oh, right. Some more pros, just to recap, are that it helps the industry, and it helps the economy. It also allows anyone access to stress relief and sexual exploration, which wouldn't really be noticed and accessible if there wasn't porn. Cons were mentioned earlier. It would be really hard to regulate. It would also allow for more extreme types of porn that inspire violence. Children of any age can view porn, and it's pretty scary to think that an 8-year-old could go onto a site and see things that could really screw up their brain for a while. And children can be improperly educated on sexuality because most things in porn are fake and unrealistic, almost impossible for most people. So it's tough. It's really tough subject.
So, as we were saying earlier, internet porn can be very hard to regulate. But the UK has been very progressive in looking towards solutions. So one of the solutions that the UK has offered toward regulation of internet porn is labeling certain types of porn as unethical. And what this does is it allows the contemporary viewer to know if what they are watching contributes to a male-dominated society or if it contributes to rape culture or is offensive towards women. Another solution that the UK has offered is opt-in censorship. And what this does is it allows parents or people that own their service providers or have like a plan with their service provider to block certain types of content from being viewed by their children. So this basically allows the parents, not like the government, to regulate what their children are watching. So if a parent thinks that pornography could be a good thing towards a child's growth, then they are allowed to enable it. But otherwise, if they think that it can harm their brains or if they think that they're too young for that type of thing, they can disable it. So that pretty much wraps up our presentation. Thank you for watching, and we love you.